Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the Lennie Robbins YouTube show. Know your politics. Let's come together to create a better understanding for each other by watching what politicians do. It is important for us to stop, look, and listen to what they're saying because we are now living in what is called an existential crisis, time of existential crisis. And with both political parties now deep into the election campaign, because I was projecting it to be about September, but the way things are going and shaping up, it might be a little earlier. Before I begin this video, before I speak and I even make an opening comment as to what I really want to talk about, I'm going to say something here, ladies and gentlemen. But I'll save most of it for the next video that I have because I did a research on the last parochial election, our local government election in February of last year. The JLP government, I must say, is very dishonest. Very, very dishonest. And disrespectful. Not only dishonest, they're also disrespectful to the people they're seeking to represent. And listen, this is a both party thing. So when I see the truth, I'm going to speak it as it is. I don't care where it drops, who hurts, or who don't like what I'm saying. That's fine with me. The JLP is very dishonest in the sense that just a couple of weeks ago, they ratified Portmore as a parish. I do believe protest and objection is still going on about that right now. And rightly so, and I support the people of the nation of the here to really protest and voice their concerns about it, because the JLP was very, very, very disrespectful to the people and that whole idea of making Portmore parish. I did a research on because like I said, both parties are now in election mode. And some information that I garner pushes me back to look at the last parochial election in terms of voter turnout and percentage of people who are voting against registered voters in areas and constituencies and all of that. Having said that, I reserve that for another time, and I'll tell you why in the other video why the JLP is very disingenuous and very disrespectful, dishonest about it. I want to get into this video though presently because it's not of any greater importance, but it's also very, very important to us, and you kind of get a state of the mind of people in Jamaica, and this is why the politics is important for us to get to know our politics and really start to look and follow what is happening closely around us. It's very, very important. I'm saying, I can't say this, I don't know how to say it anymore or whatever. But I read an article in the Daily Gleaner publication yesterday, the 24th. And the headline is that it's choking. The headline, choking on crime. This is all about Jamaica, choking on crime. Remember the boastful figure that the Prime Minister and the Minister of National Security and the head of JCF talk about Jamaica, crime is reduced and all of these things, and murders is going down and robbery going down or rape going down and all of these things. That may be so to all you heads of government and all you people who are authorized to make this statement. It is going down. But does that mean the country is still not choking on crime? And I raise that point because this is a Dan Anderson poll. A Dan Anderson sponsored poll by RJR and the Gleaner. They commissioned the Dan Anderson poll. And they found that crime and violence is the most crippling cancer facing Jamaica. High cost of living is a distant second to crime and violence. Now hear this. Crime and violence. Cost of living. Nowhere in that corruption is it mentioned. Nowhere in that corruption is mentioned. Now, I went over to do some research on the CPI. CPI is the country's perception of corruption perception index. And that's an international thing. It's funny for us how corruption is way down on the chart of what is important in Jamaica. Way down. Which gives me an idea that it's either the country is so corrupt that most people is okay with it now. That most Jamaicans are okay with this corruption. That only a very small percentage would give an opinion about it. Or they're pretending they don't know the country is corrupt. One of two things. So because I know Jamaica is really corrupt, I decided to look at the Corruption Perception Index on the international chart to see where Jamaica is. Jamaica was 69th on the list out of countries of 180 countries up to last year, or 2023. Now, we are the 73rd worst corrupt country in the world. We dropped 4 points. But here what is happening, when you look at that same CPI chart, out of 100%, okay? They rate you out of 100%. 0 mean highly corrupt and 100% mean highly clean. Jamaica has been maintaining a 44% rating from 2017. Now, do we honestly believe that Jamaica corruption level from 2017 to now is the same thing? It can't be. Because when I dig a little deeper into that CPI index and statistical information that they have out there, other countries around us is getting worse than us. That's why we were able to maintain our 44% out of 100. So we're below the halfway mark. We're not even half somewhat corrupt country. We are a corrupt country. And the analysis from this vote that Dan Anderson, the RGR and the Gleaner commissioned Dan Anderson to conduct, the analysis was done by Dr. Clayton. Now, Dr. Clayton, I must say, Anthony Clayton, that is, Professor Anthony Clayton of UWI. He's a professor at UWI of Caribbean Sustainable Development at UWI. Also, he served as Deputy Chairman of the Jamaica Constabulary Force Operational Reform Oversight Committee. And here's something he said that is very, very, very frightening and should have JCF and the Minister of National Security and the present government administration scratching their damn head and rethinking what they're putting out there to fool people. He asserted that corruption is the reason why corruption, not crime and violence, not cost of living, corruption is the reason why the schools and public infrastructure, why the country lacks the schools and the public infrastructure it needed to divert the youths of today from gang relationship and violent crimes. Hear this. I'm going to give you a statistic. It says 48% of the country indicate that crime and violence is the biggest problem faced in the country. 48% of Jamaicans believe that. 13% believe that cost of living is of great concern, while 8% of the country believe corruption is a major problem. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us ask ourselves, is this a reality? Dan Anderson, you did a good job. It is a reality. That's what the country says. Well, let us go to Professor, and I repeat, let us go back to Professor Anthony Clayton's comments. Now, this is a man who is a professor at UWI of Caribbean Sustainable Development. And he also served as deputy chairman of the Jamaica Constabulary Force Operational Reform Oversight Committee. He asserted that corruption is the reason why the country is without the schools and public infrastructure needed to divert the youth of today away from gang relationships and violent crimes. Now, you understand? He's also asking the government to pay attention to this simple, overlooked issue in our society. Greater focus and resources needs to be placed on social intervention for families and children who are exposed to abuse and violence, coupled by significant investment in schools and community. This is a simple, basic thing. Now you tell me which one of this government have ever talked about these kind of investment. Which one of these government are doing all of this? Corruption itself, I'm going to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, because corruption is something, the corruption in of itself affects everything, every aspect of our lives. Education, health, name it. Every aspect of our life, corruption has affects. But yet, on the index chart, coming from the poll, I thought Donna Anderson carried out in, when that was? September 24, 2024. And this was actually reflective. This was actually reflective of the previous year. The same result was actually reflective of the previous year, 2023. So what is happening? Nothing is changing. Let us look at it from that perspective first. Absolutely nothing is changing. Crime and violence is the greatest concerns to our citizens in the country of Jamaica. Cost of living, that's 48%. Said that a mere 13%, 1/3 of the nation, do not care. 13% says cost of living, which means 67%, which is actually 2/3 of the nation. Don't see cost of living as a major concern. I'm sorry about that earlier analogy of 1/3. 2/3 of the nation doesn't see cost of living as a concern to them. Let us look now at corruption. 8% believe corruption and unemployment and underemployment. Unemployment and underemployment and corruption is a major problem. 8%. 8% of the people. So it just goes to show you the impact. Now, if these government are really thinking and have a think tank to put all of this information into a database, what should be the first thing jumping out at these guys? Crime. 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 People is not concerned about cost of living. People not concerned about corruption. People not concerned about unemployment and underemployment. Put those three together and tell me what you get. It will reflect the 48% who believe crime is the greatest problem. Crime and violence. Because corruption, underemployment and unemployment, and cost of living, all these things together You understand? A breeding grounds for corruption. For the crime and violence that we have, as a matter of fact. Corruption, cost of living, unemployment. All these things are the breeding ground for violence. So 48% of the people is saying that, listen, crime and violence are our greatest problem. What is the message this is sending to the government? Fix the corruption. Fix the cost of living. Fix unemployment and underemployment. Fix these things. And as Professor Clayton points out, things is so bad, no wonder the country, corruption in Jamaica, things is so bad, no wonder corruption is the reason why the country is without the schools and public infrastructure needed to divert the youths away from gang violence, gang relationships, and violent crimes. You understand? No wonder he said that. His analogy is understandably clear. And with all the problem we're having, why can't the government put a think tank together? We have sociologists, we have all kind of ologists in Jamaica. Why can't we bring a criminologist and all of these things? And I don't know if there's any victimologists in Jamaica. But we bring them together. Victimologists, sociologists, and all of these things. Because what the government is not understanding, I've been saying this for a long time. I work as a victimologist here for 12 years in New York. Yeah. And I learned something. The solving crime is important. But what is also equally important in solving crime is that your effort and whatever plans and policy you have in place must be at broad base as society. So what that means, you don't use victims as a number, as a statistic. You don't use crime victims as a number. In other words, how many cases solved, how many arrests you make, and that's it for victims. You use victims. In Jamaica, notice how they use victims. Victims are utilized as a means of giving evidence to clear a case. Nothing more. Once you go to court and give evidence, bam. If somebody shoots you 2 months' time, they don't care. The point I'm making is that it is time for the government to create what is called a think tank. Have visionaries at the table. Not the Minister of Social Security. I don't think Dr. Chang is a visionary when it comes to crime and these things. I don't even think the Prime Minister, because these things are not your specialty, but you have to deal with it. There's the Professor Anthony Clayton, who even works for the JCF. And if he works for the JCF and can say these things, even though the poll is showing that crime and violence is the major concern, he's saying corruption is the reason why the country lacks what it lacks. This man, who is the deputy chairman of the oversight committee for the Jamaica Constabulary Force, so the Operational Reform Oversight Committee, is the deputy chair. And if he's saying this, it is telling the Prime Minister, the National Security Minister, and all of these fools who are running up their mouth to country and brag and boast about crime gone down and murder reduced by this percent. Those are facts, those are numbers, mean nothing. In a real way, it means nothing. Okay, those are numbers. That's your statistic. That's your statistics. But tell me now how these numbers relate to a better quality of life for people. How these numbers affect corruption. How does it affect cost of living? How does it affect unemployment? You understand? How do you transfer these numbers to make better, create more employment, reduce cost of living, corruption? You can't. Because nothing has been done to drive things in that direction or that kind of understanding. Nothing. But we are talking about murder went down by how much percentage. Now you're the minister and even the commissioner of police come out. Kill them when you see them. Kill them if they resist. Kill them if this. Kill them if that. Now, Mr. Commissioner, how many innocent people that you are prepared to answer for? The Minister of National Security, how many innocent people that you people are prepared to account for? It's only because the people are not taking the police force to court. Because there's a lot of unnecessary killings being done. I'm not saying all of them is, but there's a lot being done. And people are not taking the police force to court. If that was happening, you'd have a different approach to crime. Yes, we have to take them out when them come shooting. You understand? But that can't be a final answer. The commissioner said we get the intelligence, we get the information, we know where they are. So if you know where they are and know they have the intelligence and know they are gunmen, the only approach you can have is to kill them. Let's really think about it. The only approach, Mr. Commissioner, you can have is to kill them. I don't know what your doctor is in, buddy, but I don't think he's a medical doctor, because as a medical doctor, you know the vote you take. I know that your vote is your first concern is to save life. And you don't want to turn your police force into a murdering force, because according to you, you train them not to lose. Now what I ask you to explain to the nation, what do you mean by not to lose? Crime is something that's we all have to take into consideration. And Dr. Blake, or whatever your name is, Horace Chang, Prime Minister, everybody, Mark Golden and all of you, Shadow Minister, and as Minister of National Security, Shadow Minister for the PNP. All of you guys come together and do a research on crimes and punishment and see what harsher crime does to a society. Because if harsh crime was preventing crime, people from committing harsher crimes, that would have happened long ago. The penalty could be instant. No trial. It doesn't stop people from the people who are committing the crime from getting harsher. And more murderous in their intent. There are enough people in Jamaica, brilliant minds, people in Jamaica, where we can bring people out, man. Sociologists, criminologists, victimologists, everybody. Scholars who know the law, know what is legal, know what is not legal. And look at all these information, these statistics, these things coming out from the different polls that have been conducted. These information are information to put into a think tank and create and help you to create strategy to battle the country crime problem on a real meaningful and serious front. Nobody's using their statistic to drive crime fighting plans. Well, what do you do? What do you do? Oh, I don't train my police to lose. Then where is them? Kill them. So if a gunman coming out here and living out here and call two innocent youth and say, boy, you want to come go down the road so buy this for me, no can no it go for no go. And then go buy and I come back. And by the time they come back and go amongst them, police turn up and shoot everybody, and yes, they kill 6 and 7 people. And they recover 3 guns. Because them open fire upon them. But them kill 6, recover 3 guns. Kill 4, recover 2 guns. Have anyone ever asked that there's no care? There's not a care for whether a person is there innocently or not. There's no care. Cause just like how the police is fearful to kill them, fearful of them and want to kill them out, the very common citizen is in fear of these people too. So we have to take a different approach and a real meaningful, balanced approach, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. National Security, and you, the Commissioner of Police. You understand? All this crap about killing. Yeah. Kill all you want and see what's going to happen. I guarantee I'm asking you people again. Go do your research on the result of crimes and punishment. And see what harsher crime does to people. Remember, the world is coming from the stage. I'll take all of you minds back to this. The world is coming from us from the stage. Where if a man steal an orange, them used to chop off your man. If you steal certain things, them throw you over a precipice. Just push off, no trial, no court. That's where punishment is coming from. Does it stop people from stealing and murdering and killing? No. They used to drill hole in people's head. As a means of punishment, take a drill and drill a hole in your damn head. Does that stop crime? No, it doesn't. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to close off on that and say, listen, we have to be very careful with what we are doing and very serious about our life, our existence. We know the crime is a problem, but it can be done on a comprehensive front. It can be done, the fight against crime can be done on a comprehensive. There's no one solution to no crime. And that is what the Jamaica has been doing for years. One approach. Kill them dead. Shoot first and ask question after. Remember that? This is the same thing the Minister of National Security is saying and the Commissioner is saying. The same damn thing. Shoot first and ask question. So we have to be very comprehensive in our approach because I know Jamaica have the brains, Jamaica have the talent. We can work that out. And it's not a PMP or JLP thing, it's just a lack of will and political motivation to do the right thing. I think that's what it is. Because if they really want to solve crime, they can get done. I mean, look how they get the highway bill. If the government can get the highway bill and serious about building it, why can't they be serious about solving crime? And if the PMP is willing to solve crime too, why can't they get in bed with the JLP and come up with plans? Because they have experts on their side too, can have expert opinion on it. And come together and solve the crime. With the nation, you can't rid the nation of crime but people need to know them can go to them bed safely at night and sleep sound and safe and not wonder where and then you blow. Everybody run under them bed. People need to get away from that life. And every house now have a burglar bar. You understand? Anything you have from your house. If you even have finished your burglar bar inside, we have done. You burglar bar it inside, outside and everything. And people have put up steel door and all of them things upon the house now. That's where it goes. So over to you, Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. National Security and Mr. Commissioner of Police, because you're all bragging and boasting and you can't win the election. But you don't really have no real plan to help the country. That is really going to put the country on a path of sustainable growth for any long period of time. You guys don't have it. Neither crime, neither as you as the Commissioner of Police, the Minister of National Security, not really the Andrew Holness administration to take the country on any path. You're trying your best, sir. Let me give you even that. You're trying your best, but your boss, under the circumstances, is not good enough. And like I said, my next video is going to be about that Portmore thing, Mr. Prime Minister, because you're very dishonest and misleading on it. I did research on the last parochial vote and realized Waterford is not in St. Catherine anymore. From then, it is in Portmore. Greater Portmore is not in Portmore. It is not in St. Catherine. From then, it is in Portmore. All of them places there. Gregory Park is not in is not in Portmore. It's not in St. Catherine. It is now in Portmore from the last election. And I'm going to do that because I want to highlight the voter turnout and the percentage of people who vote. So when you hear PMP and JLP jump up about them win election, they look at 18 and 19 and 20% of people turn out to vote. Now, if that is enough to make you shout, say you win election, then my God, I really wouldn't want to get involved in politics from a representational perspective, because if I have 10,000 people voted in my division to vote for me. You understand? And out of the 10,000, only 2,000 turn up to vote. 1/5, 20% of the people turn up to vote. And then I only win out of that 20%. You understand? I win 47%. Or I get 53% and the other man get 47%. Whichever way you want to look at it. The winner, whoever the winner is. Is that a mandate to govern a division or a constituency? Is that a mandate to govern? 1/5 of the people turn out to vote. What are the people telling you? Ladies and gentlemen, that is for next time. I want to say welcome again to the Lennie Robbins YouTube show. I want you guys to jump on board, subscribe. We need to grow this program and grow it fast, because the politics is really getting serious, and I'm really now starting to dig into it and start to get some researches done into the politics. And there's a lot of things that common Jamaican do know. We need to let you know, because we're not here defending, I'm not here defending PNP or JLP. I'm here defending Jamaica from a real perspective, because it is our life that at stake. And I have family in Jamaica, and boy, they want help, and I have in a position for help them who I can help. Sometimes I don't even have it to give them. You understand? Because I can't do for everybody at the same time. But little by little, you do a little thing here, drop a little thing there, drop a little thing there. And that's how we have to reach out to people back home. Because the government is really not doing anything substantial and sustainable for the country. Nothing is happening. So, next time I'll see you, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, jump on this platform, subscribe, like, dislike, share this video, let others see it and recognize what is happening. We want to get you all out there, people. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Welcome to the